All right, welcome back to Nano Machine. This is the first video that I'm doing of the series, but welcoming back myself to recording these videos and trying to do them in a video manner, like I'm going to be doing for a lot of the videos that I'm doing for the series that I decide to put out here, which is going to be a few. I'm going to be reading off of the script, so if you see me looking over here, that's the script I'm reading off of. So with that being said, as well as the script, I'm going to also be reading these in intro, like in little sections. So I'll note them out as we go along, but let's go ahead and get started. So welcome back. Today we're doing the breakdown for another absolute gem of a chapter from the demonic cult saga within Nanomachine. Today we're diving into the chapter 317, Nature Realm Part 3. So let's get in for the Ascension vibes. So, after everything Chonyeon Moon has been through, we have the betrayals, the brutal training, the nanotech that he has been carrying with him from the future through impossible odds. We're finally hitting the legendary territory here. Chapter 317 delivers the kind of moments Miram fans live for, the demon god stepping into the realm of the ancestors. This isn't just another power-up chapter, it's a convergence of the bloodlines. We have the legacy and the raw martial destiny here. If you've been following Chonyeon Woon since day one, this kind of hits a little bit differently. All right, now we can move on to the pacing and structure of the chapter, which first we'll go with the pacing. It is elite. The tight, cinematic, and perfectly balanced between the high-octane action, revelation drops, and the emotional weight like we saw with Moon. It doesn't waste panels on filler, that's for sure. I never really see that with Nanomachine. Every scene builds towards the big meeting that we see and we're going to talk about. The structure flows like a classic shonen or a Muram climax. Quick recaps of the recent chaos. We have the rescues, the apologies, the energy core aftermath. We have internal conflicts and reflections. Then boom, we're straight into the ascension sequence and then the encounter. The art carries most of the heavy lifting with dynamic spreads, aura effects, and that signature detailed fight and breakthrough aesthetic. It feels like the manhwa is sprinting towards its endgame while still savoring the hype. No drag, just momentum. Although I feel like there's more to come because I don't read the novel. I don't know what actually is going to happen. I don't know if this is going to be the end of the manhwa. I don't know what's to come, but I feel it seems like this is going to be heading towards a climax, but I feel like there should be more of the story left, so we'll kind of see what happens here. All right, now moving into the character components of the chapter, we're going to start with Chonyeon Woon, the demon god. Nonchalant final boss energy at its finest. We have his reaction to ascending to the immortal or godlike status is always hilarious, and some would say peak, I guess, because of his calm, collected, almost bored in the face of transcendence kind of feeling. And he's always been like that, especially ever since he got Nano as a young child, and we saw his growth through that. We see his growth as well from the orphan underdog to someone carrying the weight of the cult's future on his shoulders. His humility shines through in the apologies and concern for his allies. Moving on to Chon Ma, who is the first heavenly demon and the founder of the demon cult, or what the demon cult was when it was founded. So for here, the ultimate guy appears for our section. I think with some of the future talk that was happening, I think most of the people think that the demon god that they're trying to refer to was Chon Ma, but ends up coming not far back enough into the past and ends up fighting Chonyeon Woon, or knows Chonyeon Woon is in this portion of the past and is supposed to be a specific power level, but with most recent chapters that we've seen, with the Blade God coming back, we've seen him not really, I would say, not really living up to the what these people thought he would be, and not in a bad way, just exceeding that, being too much for them. And when he was I think it kind of triggered Chonyeon Woon's ascension into this, as well as him having that other core with him as well. But with Chon Ma, he looks mature, composed, and a saner, more refined version compared to his younger, I think, Gyeongwoon era depictions, I think is what how that's pronounced. Absolute legend aura, passing down insights, power, and that demonic essence lineage. This meeting cements him as the mythic figure behind everything. He goes into a lot of different details, kind of almost walking through it with Chonma or Chonyeonwoon. So it was interesting to see. It was a good chapter, and I'm really looking forward to the next one that comes out. Moving on, we're going to go to the supporting cast, like the rescued allies. A little bit of information for them. They add heart, gratitude, loyalty, and reminders that Chonyeonwoon's leadership is beyond just strength. We draw themes of legacy, bloodline, evolution, and the loneliness of the pinnacle. So that's kind of some of the themes that I kind of drawn. All right, now moving on to the story progression and lore components of the chapter. The major progression is Chonyeonwoon's push into the heavenly master realm, bridging the gap to true immortality and godhood territory. The chapter revolves around this breakthrough and the direct encounter with Chonma. So the key lore drops that we found: 1. Details on demon essence and death key, how Chonma studied scriptures to master it, crossing life and death boundaries due to his unique demonic traits. 2 of the key lore drops was the bloodline inheritance. Chonyeonwoon carries diluted demon essence from the founder. Another one would be the connections to the broader universe. So Mist, Might, and Mayhem prequel vibes is what is kind of noted within the research that I saw, and hints at what comes after. So ascension often means venturing beyond the central planes or into new realms. So I'm wondering if we're going to leave some of the characters that we know behind in order to start a different part of the manhwa, leading on to maybe another 300 chapters to go through Chonyeonwoon's ascension and venturing beyond and everything like that. So the next lore drop component, I guess, would be, or I guess the last one would be more on demonic key origins. We have the spiritual beasts and the cult's foundational secrets. This isn't just Chonyeonwoon's getting stronger. It's him stepping into his ancestral role, unlocking unlocking the bigger picture of the heavenly demons. Now moving on to my final thoughts of this chapter, we have chapter 317, Nature Realm Part 3. It is one of the many peak chapters that we've had lately, but the best of the most recent few for sure. A love letter, so to say, to longtime readers, and a hype bridge to whatever comes next, possibly to a climax, or possibly to a next part, or possibly just to the next little bit of the story until we get to a different part or something similar. The art pops, the revelations land with weight, and that Chonma meeting, perfect, as the boys character would say. The series feels like it's going on its final stretch, but it's going out on a high note with peak Miram storytelling, so power, legacy, and that unbreakable demonic will. Very similar to reminding me of the Legend of the Northern Blade, with how much it has a lot of the peak fights within it, not just on the ending, but throughout it as well. This chapter reminds us why Nano Machine sits amongst the greats here in the manhwa webtoon world. So let me know what everybody thinks whenever they're able to drop comments below. Was the Ascension everything that we had hoped for so far? I know it's going to continue, but let me know in the comments below if you can, when you can, and I'll catch you in the next chapter breakdown. All right, peace.